Alright, so in this video we'll be learning how to French braid. For this one, it is more important than the regular braid that you have your hair nice and brushed, because you're going to be taking lots of little sections. So if you have any tangles, that'll be pretty hard to do. So you want to start by brushing your hair out. Alright. Now I usually like to look in a mirror while I'm French braiding my hair, that way I can check for any bumps and flatten them out before I get too far into the braid. So, to start, we're going to use that same braiding technique that I talked about in the regular braid video, but what we're going to do is we're just going to take two fingers right here and just grab the very top of your hair. So, you see that? It's not much. Just a little bit from the top. And we're going to divide it into 3 sections. Just like the regular braid. So now a French braid, you use the exact same method as the regular braid. But each time before you cross over to the middle, you're going to grab some hair from the outside. So we'll start it off by just a couple crossing over. So we cross the right side over the middle, and we're doing the same hand holds too. So we start with space 1, space 2, and then cross into space 3. We do it again, space 1, space 2, cross into space 3. Alright, so now that we've gotten a start, we're going to start picking up that hair. So what I usually do is I put it up into space 3, and then I grab the hair. So what you do is you just take your finger from your hairline and drag it back to pick up a little section of hair, and you're just going to put it up there with that section you're already holding. Okay? So now you reach under and use that first space to grab the hair that's underneath. You put the new hair in space 1, then you cross over to space 3, just like the last video. Then you come on the other side, you take your finger from your hairline, draw it over to where your hand is, lift it up, and put it up in space 3. Now this is the part where you want to be making sure that you're looking in front for no bumps, to flatten them out before you get too far. Right, so you do space 1, space 2, this one crosses up into space 3. Once again, you go from the hairline, and you pull it up in. So when you pull tight, you won't get as many of those bumps, but in case you do, you just take your fingers and just comb through that hair again to flatten out the bumps, keeping it up there in space 3. So we're going to go again. So you go space 1, space 2, cross up and over to space 3, grab some hair from this side, pull that tight across, finger comb through to get out any bumps, and we'll do it again. 1, 2, 3. Grab under, space 1, 2, 3, and you're just going to keep doing that back and forth. So you grab a piece of hair, put it up top, and you grab under, 1, 2, 3, do it again for this side. You just go back and forth until you run out of hair. Sometimes your hair will get a little knotted at the end from all this back and forth, but you can just finger comb through or brush it if you need to. And we're just going to keep going until we run out of hair. Now, as we're getting close to the bottom, you want to make sure that your 3 pieces stay even size. So this side is feeling a little bit bigger than this side, so I'm just going to take a small chunk of hair over here. And then when I go to this side, so now this piece and this piece feel about even to me, but this piece feels smaller, so I'm just going to take the rest of that. I'm going to take a big chunk of that hair that's left, just to try to even those pieces out a little bit. And then this side, I'm going to take just a small chunk. And then just going to grab whatever's left, because there's not much, and put it in. And now you proceed, since I'm all out of hair to grab, you proceed to just do that regular braid down. I know my hair is long enough that after a certain point, I can't reach down my back any further, so you can either hold the hair up and braid upwards, or what I like to do is bring it around front. Now when you bring it around front, you have to make sure that you keep those 3 pieces separate. So I still have this piece, and this piece. And then you can either look in the mirror or feel and see, alright, so this side is on top. The middle piece is coming from my left. So that means I want to start with my right. And then you continue on with that regular braid all the way to the bottom. And you tie it off. Then once again, you can do this in 2 braids. So you would part your hair all the way down the middle, tie off one side, French braid the one side, French braid the other side. Or you can do a half French braid, which is you start up here, you half French braid, you braid until you get about halfway down your head, and then you switch to just regular braiding so you still have hair down in the back. Alright, so that's it.